Hello dear children, today we'll be studying about binomial theorem. Now first we'll be discussing what a binomial is and why is it to expand a binomial we require a theorem. What is that special formula? What are the different symbols which are involved in it? Further, we will be looking up a sum first thrown to you as a challenge, and after you can't do it, I will explain to you every speck of it, and so that there be no ambiguity left, what I'm going to do is I will give you a second explanation which will completely remove any ambiguity, any confusion, any setbacks that you've had in the explanation of the sum. So I'm going to try my best so that you can understand this topic at your very best. But what you're going to do is you just have to focus from the beginning till the end of this lecture so that you can understand this. I'm sure you're searching for content on this topic and you might be in International Baccalaureate where you're pursuing IBDP, that is the diploma program in AAHL. You can also be in IGCSE board where it is also in syllabus, or you can be in the ISC board or in the CBSE board. At all of these places, at the grade 11, grade 12, or the class 11, class 12 level, this topic is there. So let's begin by me quickly explaining to you what actually a binomial is. Now, when we talk about a binomial, children, then a binomial is actually what? It's an algebraic expression which has two terms. For that matter, let us consider that we say have some 4a plus 3b. So we're going to call this a binomial because there are two terms in it. One term is 4a and the second term is 3b. This algebraic expression has 4, 3 as the constants and a, b are the variables, right? So such a binomial also has a separator, and that is this plus sign, which actually separates the terms. And whenever we talk about such a sort of an algebraic expression, to talk about its initial powers, it is pretty simple. For that matter, if say we want to know about a plus b whole square, I'm sure you'll tell me verbatim it is a square plus 2ab plus b square. Similarly, if I ask you about a plus b whole raised to the power 3, you're going to tell that to me again spontaneously as a cube plus 3a square b plus 3ab square plus b cube. But what if I ask you a plus b whole raised to the power 7? Will you be able to tell that to me? Obviously not. Even I won't be able to tell that to you, right? So to solve this problem, actually, we talk about the binomial expansion. That is, how is it that we can write a binomial which is raised to any natural number power to be an expression? And further, obviously, keeping the value of the variables, you will come to a number, right? So let us look up what this expression can be, right? Now, if say we talk about here, say x plus a, which is raised to the power n, this is the normal general expansion, right, which is done with x plus a to be the general binomial. Now, I will write an expression now to make you people clear about this, and for that I will just increase the width a little so that you can have it with clarity. So when we talk about this x plus a raised to the power n, children, then this becomes equal to НC₀. Now, anything such written is known as the binomial coefficient, right? Now, the first term is x. It will be raised to the power, the difference of the numbers in the superfix and in the suffix, as I have explained in detail in the short. If you haven't looked it up, just go over and look it up. Write the formula once, then it will be all there in your brain for a long duration of time. Now, after this, the second term is raised to the power, the number which is there in the suffix, that is 0. And similarly, we talk about now the second term, which is НC₁ x raised to the power n minus 1 times of a raised to the power 1. And children, all of this continues up to the last term, which is НCn x raised to the power 0, n minus n, and a raised to the power n, which is the number in the suffix. So using this formula, children, we will now be doing a sum. So the sum that is before you people is this. I'd like you people to quickly give it a try. I'll just give you 10 seconds for trial, after which I'll be discussing the sum, right? So remember, children, this probably is just like a new child who has entered your class. Won't you like to befriend that child? I'm sure all of you boys and girls will go over to that new child and try and make friends. So similarly, you learn something new, and this is the new entrant, the question. Come over, befriend it, right? And try what all you can do with it. Tell some stories, give some gifts, and befriend. That is how you befriend a person. But to befriend a sum, you will actually have to apply the tricks and techniques that you know so that you can get to the solution of the sum. And this is what I want you to try at the beginning of the sum. If you do this, then you will be answering your mandatory curiosity for a question, curiosity to be able to solve any question which is before you. And this is something which is always welcome and what you should do. So give it a try. I'm giving you a little time as I can't give you much time, but you can obviously pause the lecture and give yourself a longer try so that you can actually give a potent try. Okay, so that being said, your time's up, my time's now. Now let's look up what actually we can do in this sum. The first part in this question tells you that there is a binomial which is 2 upon x squared minus 3y whole raised to the power 5, and we just have to expand it. So that's pretty simple. That is 2 upon x squared, which will serve as x as was in the formula. And in place of the separator being a plus sign as it was in the formula, we have a minus sign. That is the other option when we will have a binomial. So the separator can either be a plus sign or a minus sign. And here the power of this is 5. Now, when we try to expand this, children, we will have here n, which is 5c0, 2 upon x squared raised to the power 5 times of minus 3y, which will be raised to the power 0. To that is added the next term, which is 5c1, 2 upon x squared, whole raised to the power 4, minus 3y upon, well, there's no upon, so this is raised to the power 1, and then we have 5c2, the third term, 2 upon x square, which is raised to the power 3, and minus 3y, which is raised to the power 2. Further then, 2 more terms to go, right? So that's 5c3, 2 upon x square, we have that raised to the power 2, and we have minus 3y, which is going to be raised to the power 3. Now 2 more terms to go. So we have 5c4, 2 upon x square raised to the power 1, which need not be written, and then you have minus 3y multiplied with it. That's why we are putting up a bracket. That's mandatory, remember. This is raised to the power 4. Next, we have 5c5, and obviously the first term is going to become equal to 1 because we'll have 2x squared raised to the power 5 minus 5, which is 0. And as such, the power being 0, the number will become equal to just 1. And 1 will quietly vanish as 1 is multiplicative identity. Further, we have minus 3y, and children, its power is going to be how much? Yeah, David, tell me. Well, very correct. Its power is going to be this number which is there in the suffix. And it's good that you people remember these terms. This is the superfix and this is the suffix. I'm sure you people must have seen this denotation when you must have seen some radioactive materials. The upper number represents mass number and the lower number represents the atomic number, right? So here, children, after this, we have to solve this, and that is pretty simple. I'll leave a little calculations to you people. But at this time, I will help you out with any one binomial coefficient. Let's talk about 5c3. So when we have it, then that becomes equal to 5 factorial, which is going to be divided by 5 minus 3 factorial times of factorial 3. So here, children, you do a trick, that is 5 into 4 into, you have factorial of 3. Obviously, 3 factorial is going to be 3 into 2 into 1. When multiplied with 4, it will become 4 factorial. And when further multiplied with 5, it will become 5 factorial. So this is how when you write your 5 factorial, it will easily get cancelled with 3 factorial, which is down below. So here you have 2 factorial, which is multiplied with factorial 3. And you'll get to see here that factorial 3 will easily get cancelled to your glee. And you will get this to be 10. Why 10? That is because you have here this factorial 2, which will become just 2 into 1, that is 2. 2 will get cancelled with 4. 2 times 5 into 2 is 10. So you will get this 10. Now here I require to tell you people one special thing, that always remember that your binomial coefficient comes out to be from the set of natural numbers. Do remember this for sure. So this is a rule that you have at hand, which I'm going to give you people in writing. So write this as a rule on the top of your copy margins, that whenever you talk about some NCR, remember that it is from the element of natural numbers. I'm sure you people know natural numbers 1, 2, 3, 4 and so on up to infinity. So it comes from this set. Now children, further solution is what is required. So in this, I'll help you people with a little bit of detailing in what we did earlier. That is the last step simplified. So 5C0 is going to become equal to 5 factorial divided by 5 minus 0. That is 5 factorial into 0 factorial. And that, children, is going to become equal to just 1, right? So further here, you will have 1. And that is going to be multiplied with 2 upon x square, right? Which is raised to the power 5, and further as minus 3y is raised to the power 0, it will become 1. Next, we come to the next term, which is 5C1. And children, on calculation, you will find that this will come to 5 in a similar way, as it is 5 factorial divided by 5 minus 1, that is 4 factorial into 1 factorial. So only 5 remains here, and then you will have 2 upon x square, which is going to be raised to the power 4. And this is for the first time when a minus sign will come over multiplied with this term. As such, this term is now next going to become negative. Then we have the next term. So that then becomes equal to 5C2. Now this becomes 5 factorial divided by 5 minus 2 factorial, that is 3 factorial into factorial 2. So 5 into 4 is 20, and then divided by 2 will become equal to 10. So that then will become the next binomial coefficient. So you will now have 10 times of 2 upon x square, whose power is going to become equal to 3. And then further, you will have minus 3y whole raised to the power 2. As such, this will become a positive term. Now after this, you have the next term, which then is going to become equal to 5C3, right? And that again is going to become equal to 10, as 5 factorial divided by 5 minus 3, that is 2 factorial, further multiplied in the denominator by factorial 3 is going to become the same as earlier. As such, you'll have 10, which is going to be multiplied with 2 upon x square, which is raised to the power, now one more number reduced, that is 2, and then you'll have 3y with a minus sign raised to the power 3, and as minus 1 is going to be raised to the power 3, as such it will become minus 1. In other words, this term is going to become negative. Now after this, we talk about the next term, which is again going to have a binomial coefficient of 5, right? And then you will have 2 upon x square, right, which is going to be raised to the power 1, and then you'll have minus 3y, which is going to be raised to the power 4. And now comes the last term, 5C5, like 5C0, will have the value of 1. Remember, always the first and the last binomial coefficients are 1, right? And the binomial coefficients as many from the front is equal to as many from the end. So you saw that the first was 1, the last was 1. The second was 5, the second last was 5. The third last was 10, and the third from the beginning was 10, right? Now further, you have here 1, which is going to be multiplied with 2 upon x square raised to the power 0. Again, that will also become equal to 1. As such, you're just left out with minus 3y, which is going to become raised to the power 5. As such, this will give you another negative term. So obviously now you will just write the powers of 2. You will multiply with these binomial coefficients like 5, 10, etc. and also with 3, and then get the different terms. This simplification is what I'm leaving to you people to calculate, because from times immemorial, you people have been calculating this 2 into 2 into 3 into 4 into 5 and so on, right? So very easily you can calculate this. So I leave you people for this part of the question, that is the first part, and the simplification is now your task. Now we come over to the second sum, that is the second part of the sum. Find the coefficient of x square in 2x plus 1 upon 3 raised to the power 4 times of 3 minus 2 upon x raised to the power 2. Now I'll give you people a quick re-explanation so that if there's any speck of doubt in the first part, all of that gets cleared. Now, the first thing that we discussed was the binomial theorem, and in it we discussed this is actually the expansion when the power of a binomial is n, that is a natural number that is greater than 3, which is what normally nobody knows. So if we have, say, some a plus b raised to the power 7, it's going to help you. So what is the formula? The formula is x plus a, right, which is the conventional binomial as it is written. When raised to the power n will give you НC0, x raised to the power, the difference of the numbers in the superfix and the suffix for the first term. And for the second term, which is multiplied to the earlier, is raised to the power the number which is there in the suffix of the binomial coefficient. And the same process you will get to see that gets applied again and again to the second term, that is НC1 x raised to the power n minus 1 times of a, the second term, raised to the power 1. And so on. This continues up to the last term, which is НCn x raised to the power, the difference of the numbers in the superfix and the suffix, which becomes 0, times of a raised to the power number in the suffix, which is n, right? So this is how you will write the expansion of the binomial, right? And this theorem is how actually we will get some help as to solving this sum. So further now, children, for the second part, we'll actually copy the sum first. We have to find out the coefficient of x square, right? But before that, obviously, is the second explanation that I was doing. So let me do that first. So when we have 2 upon x square minus 3 upon 3y whole raised to the power 5, so here to expand it, we just use this formula and write the values step by step. I told you how to find out the value of the binomial coefficient. That will be just by writing, say, any 5C3 to be factorial of the power which is, or the number which is there in the superfix, divided by the factorial of the difference of the numbers in the superfix and the suffix times of the number which is there in the denominator, this suffix, that is 3, its factorial. Further then, we keep the values here. There's one trick which was used, that is, as the biggest factorial that we'll get in the denominator is factorial 3. So we'll convert this as factorial 3, that is 5 into 4 into factorial 3. So factorial 3 will get cancelled, and you'll find that 5 into 4, which is 20, will get divided by 2 into 1, that is just 2, to give you 10. So here I told you, always remember that whenever you have a binomial coefficient, it is from the set of natural numbers, right? There's another fact which I told you, that if you count on the binomial coefficients from the beginning till the end of your binomial expansion in the different terms, you'll see that the first and the last, the second and the second last, the third and the third last will all match in values. So that will help you to quickly calculate your binomial coefficients. After that, you can just write the different powers as is in the formula and get to this expansion. So is all of this clear to you people? Now give me a promise. Make sure that you practice this once in your copies just now, and that will actually help you to commit this to memory. When you'll have a sum of this type, with ease, you'll be able to do it, right? Good. Now let's discuss the next sum.